moving to the UK is one thing, but do you really know what your life's going to be like once you get here? What benefits can your job offer you? How much can you earn? Which cities make the most money? Can you make money at the side? Does your visa even allow for you to take another job and make money at the side? Do you have the answer to all of these questions? If not, stop, pause the decision to move, pause the job hunt, and stop and watch this video to get a realistic picture of what your life's going to be like once you move to the UK in terms of your job. If you're new to my channel, my name is Ashika, and on this channel we talk about moving to the UK, moving to Germany, and pretty much everywhere else. And sometimes you get to see these videos, sometimes you don't, because YouTube decides that you don't need to see them. Alright, let's get down to business. In India, most people work full-time jobs, and there is a reason for this. When most folks have kids in India, well, either your family takes care of the kids while you're out at work, or you put them in daycare, or you have a nanny who stays at home and takes care of these kids. And the reason for this is that daycare and nannies are extremely affordable in India. Now, that isn't the case in the UK because labor costs are really high. So you're probably not going to be able to afford a nanny, and daycare can get really expensive unless you're making like a ton of money. A friend of mine who works here told me that she pays about £1,400 a month for 2 kids for daycare. It's almost the cost of renting like a house, so you can imagine how expensive it can get. And this, my friends, is exactly why there are so many different types of jobs in the UK, because there isn't a one size that fits all. Now, what do I mean by different types of jobs? I'm not talking about the industries that you work for. I'm talking about the nature of your employment contracts. There are permanent jobs, there are contractual jobs, and part-time jobs. Now, under permanent jobs, there are jobs which require you to go into the office. There are jobs that allow you to work from your home, and of course, there are hybrid jobs. Now, when it comes to part-time jobs or contractual jobs, there are jobs that allow you to decide how many hours in the day you want to work, which days you want to work on, and give you a lot of flexibility. And very often, you can either work from home or from the office and do a hybrid role, again, depending on the nature of the job. Now, something I absolutely love about the UK is that there are a lot of roles that are completely remote, so you'll never have to step into an office, and that's absolutely great for people who have challenges, who can't go out and go to work, who need to be at home. So many options exist. So for folks with young children, folks who have mobility issues, folks who can't go outside and work, students looking for part-time gigs, I don't think you have to worry too much, because there will always be so many different types of options that you can work for. Now, depending on where you're coming from, you might have apprehensions about doing contractual jobs or part-time jobs if you haven't done it in the past. But here's the thing, trust me when I say this, it's extremely common in the UK. A lot of people and a lot of parents especially who send their kids to the same school as we send our child do part-time jobs or work from home or do contractual jobs just so that they can get this balance, and someone's there to manage the house, manage the kids. So don't worry too much, it's completely normal in the UK. So let's start off with pay, because how much money you can make in the UK is honestly one of the biggest factors which will help you make that decision, right? The highest earning employees are concentrated in the managerial and professional occupations aged between 35 years and 49 years, or work in the information and communication, finance, and insurance service industries. So how much can you expect to get paid in the UK? So this is a little challenging, and let me tell you why. Whenever you take an average for the UK, a lot of people feel the average is wrong simply because the numbers are so different. So London pushes up the average for everything, and that's the problem. If you look at expenditure, for instance, if you're talking about cost of living, the cost of living in the north of the UK is completely different from the cost of living in London. So someone who's living in the north of London, in the north of the UK, or in the complete west of the UK, is going to feel that when they see the average, that the average is wrong, but that's not really the case, because things are crazy expensive in London, right? The same goes with salaries. The salaries a lot of jobs in London make, especially when it comes to tech jobs and when it comes to finance jobs, pay a lot more than all other jobs throughout the rest of the UK. So London is there again, pushing the average up again. Now, with that in mind, let's take a look at how much you can expect to get paid in the UK. And these are all numbers from ONS, so this is all government information, and it's not numbers that I'm making up. The average salary in the UK, according to the ONS, is £31,772 per annum. The median salary in the City of London is £56,628. The median salary in Manchester is £33,800. The median salary in Birmingham is £34,268. Median salary in Glasgow is 34,424. Now, according to Glassdoor, the average pay scale for part-time jobs is 40,795, which is on the basis of 15,700 salaries. But Total Jobs says it's closer to 24,449. If you're looking at the average pay for part-time students, the national average salary for a part-time student is 20,946 per year in the UK. Now, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, you are breaking my heart. Hit the subscribe button now and click on the bell icon for notifications. Because to be honest, if you haven't clicked on the bell, YouTube is probably not going to show you some of my videos because it's decided to play God and decide who sees what, which was always the case, but now I'm complaining. But you won't see a lot of content which isn't about the UK, which is about moving to Germany, moving to other countries which have easy visa, which make it easy for people to move. You won't get to see any of that unless you click on the bell. Now, just look at these numbers. Had you asked someone what the average pay scale was in London, you'd get a completely different number, which was 56,000. And if you ask somebody else in the rest of the country, it's 30,000. Please understand this, that when you see the average for the UK, it's a very, very different picture. You need to drill down into the locations that you're looking at versus taking the average pay scale of the UK as a whole. Now, if you're looking for the average pay scale for any other place in the UK, apart from the ones I just mentioned, you can check that yourself. You can just head over to ONS and I will link it in the description below. And you can check this little map and you can click yourself and you can see firsthand how much each of these towns or cities pays you. Now, what if you want to know how much each profession pays? Check this out. It's a no-brainer that managers, directors, and senior officials earn the most. But remember that these are averages, because if you've seen my past videos, you would have noticed that some directors often get paid 100 to 200k, sometimes even more. The same goes with tech roles. But what this also helps you with is to get an understanding of how much you can make on an average in different professions. Let's assume you want a career in a care role. Most roles will offer you between £17,000 and £40,000. Now assume you want to know how much any other role pays. Think a data analyst. Here you go, 31,193 gross per annum. If you want to know how much an electrical engineer can make on an average, it's 50,487 per annum. Let's look at some more roles. If you're working in agricultural and fishing trades, it's 27,475 per annum. Architects will make an approximate of 43,486 per annum. Biochemists and biomedical scientists will make approximately 43,376 per annum. Civil engineers will make about 44,341 per annum. Financial managers and directors will make 64,193 per annum. Generalist medical practitioners will make approximately 43,514 per annum. Higher education teaching professionals will make approximately 47,300 per annum. Human resource managers and directors will make approximately 46,967 per annum. IT business analysts, architects, and system engineers will make approximately 50,396. Information technology directors make approximately 73,571. Management consultants and business analysts can look at approximately 43,888. Marketing and commercial managers can look at 46,747. And nurse practitioners can look at 39,135. So how do you know which role is ideal for you and what kind of job you should be doing, how many hours you should be looking at? Well, both types of jobs have their pros and cons, but let's talk about the benefits of a permanent role. It's a common practice for workers in the UK to have 20 days of paid holidays and 8 public holidays. But many employers offer more than this. Apart from this, there's also sick pay. You also get ordinary maternity leave of 26 weeks and sometimes additional maternity leave, which lasts another 26 weeks. Paternity leave is unfortunately just 2 weeks. There's also the concept of pension in the UK, which mandates that all employees have to pay a minimum of 5% of their salary towards a pension plan. And next, there's health insurance. The government provides free health insurance to all residents, but a lot of employers who want to attract top talent also provide their employees with private health insurance. So, what are the benefits you can expect if you are working in a contractual role? None. Okay, here's the thing. The law does not mandate contractual roles to be provided with any benefits, but a lot of employers still do if they're looking at attracting the right kind of talent. Some of them offer paid leave, they offer bonuses, but like I said, it depends on the employer. There's no hard and fast rule here. So if you look at it from the surface level, you're bound to think that a permanent role is obviously better than a contractual role. Well, not exactly. And one of the reasons I say this is because sometimes contractual roles pay more than permanent roles. It honestly depends on the role you're doing. And apart from this, contractual roles do offer you a certain amount of freedom that permanent roles don't. If you are a dependent, for instance, you might want to consider a contractual role if you are looking at more freedom, if you'd like time to manage the kids, the house, or if you just don't like being tied down to a particular job. Contractual jobs or part-time jobs are a much better option in that case. In case you're a student, a part-time job is a great way to make money at the side, and it's something that most students in the UK do. Another thing you should keep in mind is that a lot of people in the UK work more than one job. There are multiple reasons for this. One of the reasons is it's really expensive in the UK, so people wanted to make more money because of that, just to manage expenses. The other reason is a lot of people want to make extra money at the side. So the concept of part-time jobs because of that, or contractual jobs, is very common. But before you decide to pick up that extra job on the side or that part-time job on the side, you should definitely check if your visa allows you to work that extra job. The skilled worker visa, for instance, does allow you to take up part-time jobs in certain scenarios. If you'd like to know more about that, I'll leave a link in the bottom so you can find out which scenarios allow you to do extra jobs in the UK. Now, that being said, permanent jobs do, on the other hand, offer you stability, which contractual or part-time jobs will not offer you. And apart from that, if you're looking at making big purchases, if you're looking at buying a house, you're looking at buying a car, it's always better to have a permanent job because that stability and that stable paycheck that keeps coming in will help you get those purchases or the loans or the financing approved faster. The bottom line is, you need to figure out what works for you. Okay, here's the honest truth. The UK is an absolutely great place to be. I mean, I love it here. But to be very honest, we're in a recession and the cost of living seems to be shooting up every single day. So how do you know if you should be moving to the UK or not? How do you know if you're making the right decision? So there's a lot of factors you can consider and a lot of ways you can break it down, and here's how I did it.